I shared a video on Instagram the other day and I was talking about exploring space, but I wasn't talking about exploring outer space. I was talking about exploring inner space. And I like to share this analogy because it really gives us a great representation of how our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions work and how they arise within us, but they never stay long. And it really points to the true nature of who you really are. And so this video is about you understanding who you really are, so we don't get too lost in the content of our experience, but we have a stable foundation to rest upon, somewhere we can always come back to, because what we see in the world is people misidentifying who they are. They think that they're their thoughts, they think that they're their feelings, they think that they're their emotions, they think that they're their beliefs, but it's like, you're none of that. You're the witness of this. You're the space that watches these thoughts, these feelings, and these emotions arise, and that's who you are. You're the stable foundation. You are the clarity. You are the space. You can never be hurt. You can never be destructed, and you can never be tainted. You are the space. You are the well-being, and you are the peace. And so the analogy goes like this. So we have outer space. And within outer space, we have a galaxy that arises. And then within the galaxy, we have planets that arise. We have a moon, we have a sun, we have stars. And then we have an earth that arises. And on earth, we have human beings that arise. And so this analogy points to the space, but there are things that arise within the space. And the most important thing to understand is that the things that arise within the space don't define the space. The sun doesn't define space. Earth doesn't define space, it just arises within space. And the really cool thing to distinguish about this is like, that's the same thing for our experience, because the thoughts that arise within us don't define who we are. The feelings that arise within us don't define who we are. The emotions that arise within us don't define who we are. And yes, they are real and we feel them because it's an experience, but the experience doesn't define you. The experience is just arising within you, and that's what we're noticing. But it's so hard for us to understand this analogy. It's actually not hard because it's our direct experience. We're experiencing right now. You're going to have a thought right now, and then you can't hold on to that thought too long. It's going to go away. You're going to have a feeling right now, and then that feeling's going to go away. You're going to have an emotion right now, and that emotion's going to go away. So what's left? The space that was here before the emotion arose, the space that was here before the thought came, the space that was here before the feeling came, and the space is the only thing that's left when the feeling and the thought emotion leaves. That's the only thing that's left, and that's who you are. That's eternity. And so when we start to look at this and even take a deeper look at our experience, sitting here right now, we see that I am the space. And yes, there's so much content to our experience. We can think about the past, we can think about the future, we can think about other people, we can feel this and we can think this, and we have these beliefs, but it's like those things would not be able to exist if there was no space for those things to arise within. And we can say arise within, but there has to be a space for these things to exist within. There has to be a container, there has to be something that the thoughts, feelings, and emotions can show up on. And that's the thing to remember. And it's really cool because once you see this, you see all your traumas, all your inadequacies, all your limiting beliefs. They are not stable. They don't have a stable foundation to rest upon. They're ethereal. They come and they go. But you are eternal. You are always here when the thoughts leave. You're always here when the emotion leaves. You're always here when the feelings leave. So that's who you are. And so if you can remember this space analogy when you're having a tough time, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling anxious, just remember that yes, anxiety is arising, but it will go away. Yes, depression will arise, but it will go away. Stress will arise, but it will go away. And then you will be the last thing that's here when all of that leaves. And that's your peace and that's your well-being. And that's where we find true clarity and true peace in our experience, because that's eternity. That's who you are. You can never be hurt, you can never be destructed, and you can never be tainted. You are here right now. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. So if you can remember that analogy throughout your week, throughout your days, throughout your months, it will do you well in your experience. So that's it, and I'll speak to you next week. Much love, peace.